For so long, I hadn't let myself be out in the world because I was shown by my child's father, no less. The type of people that can just run with an idea, and your character, your reputation, your connection to your children, your family be damned, because this is what I want people to believe in you. And I want to point out, if there's someone in your life who is instigating and attacking and doing things to provoke a behavior so that they can say, see, look what they did. All right, I'm going to attempt to do a video. I'm having a lot of problems just with the way the world is right now. I'm not okay with it. I don't support it. I believe in human rights going across the board equally. We all believe red. The dissonance around things is insane. And so many people are disconnected from what's happening because it doesn't affect them. And that makes me sick to my stomach. And so it's been really, really hard to try to just even make a video. Every time I sit down, I get angry and emotional, and I don't want to talk about this stuff in an angry, emotional state. So I just haven't done any videos. And it feels wrong to talk about my own life and the comforts of my life when there are so many people that are being ripped from their own lives and ripped from their own comforts. And the only difference for me and them is that I'm a white female. You know, plenty of these people have been born in the States. The things that are happening on the streets, it's just not even being covered. Legacy media is nothing more than entertainment now, so they're paid to speak on things. They're not paid to actually highlight what's happening. And there is so much dissonance in the world right now in regards to how people are responding, or the lack of response. And I don't relate. I don't relate to people who are just like, oh, it's not happening to me, I don't care. At what point do you start to care? You know? And so I've just had a really hard time trying to vocalize these things and trying to speak in a way that's not going to cause more issues for people. And it's hard. It's really hard. So I'm going to share a little bit about what I have been doing, just because I don't really know what else to do. I got sent into a pretty bad depression about 2 weeks ago, and I've been really struggling to do regular things. And I recognize my privilege and the fact that I can just stay at home if I'm having a bad day, or I can cancel shoots if I need to cancel shoots. And I haven't shot at all this year. It's February and I have not picked up my camera. I mean, I maybe shot some stuff in January, some random stuff in January, but I haven't actually photographed any humans in a while. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. I just, with everything going on, a lot of the people that I shoot are not just white people. I don't know how else to explain this. You know, I believe that we are in a country where everyone should have a right for healthcare and to speak their truth. And where are we as a country where we can't have civil conversations with people who have two different outlooks without things coming to a point of someone dying? I'm terrified for the youth, for what's being normalized. And like I said, I've not been able to do normal things. So last week I went on a date with someone, and I don't normally date. Dating isn't really the focus of my world right now. I'm not really in a way where I'm focused on dating. I haven't been focused on dating in quite some time, like years. And it's mainly because people are incapable of taking accountability. The things that I've dealt with my kid's dad is a perfect example. You know, as we grow as an adults, we might have a really focused ideal about something. And then as we grow as an adult, we see things change and we see new truths come to light. And I'm just recognizing where so many people are so closed-minded about things. They're closed-minded about the way the world is and how they think. And that becomes really, really dangerous when it's time for a perspective shift. And if someone can't have the control over their own mind to shift perspectives, then they become a very dangerous person to be around, because what are their thoughts? What are their perspectives on the world? If they're closed-minded and they believe that only one type of person deserves healthcare and a happy home and a job, simple things, they become a part of the problem. And so my awareness to things has just always been, well, I don't want to be around people like that. And so I've just kept myself out of the loop, and I've kept myself away from the majority of humans. And then even last year, when I was connecting with people that I had assumed were similar in the way we think, the thought processes, they proved to me that they weren't. And they were actually really dangerous for my bottom line, because they had nothing but negative things to say when I was a kind person to them. And I've dealt with this for a long time. Many of us have. Many of us who are good people, who are kind, who care about the world. We have empathy for others. We can put ourselves in others' shoes. We're seeing how this affects people who don't have that ability and who are just totally okay with being terrible humans. And then there's larger groups that get together that are banding together with these ideas that are just so dangerous for not just one person, but entire groups. And so I made myself really scarce from others. I didn't want to be around people at all, because what do you mean that you're okay with these things? I don't understand you. And it's important to be able to understand others. I don't really care that much about being understood. If I can understand where someone else is coming from, I don't need to be understood, because I understand where they're coming from. And I have the ability to give empathy and grace to people. And we're seeing in real time how many people don't have that ability, and it's terrifying to be just out in the world knowing that you could quite possibly run into these people, and maybe you're at the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time, and maybe a gun's pulled out. It's just the things that are being normalized are not things that I would want any youth to believe in or say this is right. And so because my kid's dad has had this idea that I'm the villain, that I'm the bad guy for over 14 years, that tells me that person has a closed mind. They have closed themselves off to the possibility of anything else, and everything they say goes. And that is so dangerous. And we're seeing that on a full scale, why that is so fucking dangerous. And so I've been away. I don't go out. I don't date. I've been single for 7 years. I've been celibate for 6 years. I do not give myself to people. I do not share my energy with people. So when I met someone who relates so deeply to the way that I see the world and just life in general, it was like a breath of fresh air, like, wow, okay, thank God you exist, because I was just going crazy a little bit, thinking that this is just maybe, and then in my mind I was going, maybe it's just the area that I'm in. Maybe I really do need to pack it up and leave and go to a city where there are more people, and these people have an awareness to seeing other perspectives and being willing to see other perspectives. That's so important, especially now. And so I say all this to say that this person I'm talking about, we really relate to each other, and that's such a graceful, beautiful thing right now more than ever. And I'm leaving the house, finally leaving the house, and I'm gonna go meet up with this person, and we're going on a date. They're called dates. That's what we call these things. But for so long, I hadn't let myself be out in the world, because I was shown by my child's father, no less, the type of people that can just run with an idea, and your character, your reputation, your connection to your children, your family be damned, because this is what I want people to believe in you. And I want to point out, if there's someone in your life who is instigating and attacking and doing things to provoke a behavior so that they can say, see, look what they did, their opinion doesn't matter. Their thought processes on how you exist don't matter. And I really, really, really need to reiterate that, because I think people like this they live in their delusions and they think that their way is the only way. And it's just such a dangerous perspective to be in, like just lacking perspective at all, lacking the emotional maturity to see another person's point of view, or to even try to put yourself in another person's shoes. There are so many of those people out and about just wandering, a lot of them own small businesses, and the problem is these people band together. They find others that are like them, and then they gang up on one or two people who have the audacity to speak against them, to speak against their behavior and the cruelty that they have chosen to live in. It's an intentional thing to see a person see that they live differently than you and then go, I need to attack them until they can't get up anymore. It's also really delusional to think that other people are not going to do the things that they need to do to ensure that they can move forward. Like, your delusion is so intense that you actually think that other people are going to be broken down by the things that would break you down. There's just a lot of delusion and not a lot of self-awareness. And so for many, 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 many years, I have avoided all people in all types of ways. And so this ability to kind of like move forward and like try with other people it's not something I've been willing to do. I just haven't been willing to risk my own peace and my own growth so that someone else can blame me for their lack of it. And so I'm really grateful that I have met this person and that they are such a wonderful type of human. And I don't believe people like this are rare, because the world is big, but at the same time, it does feel like it's rare. It does feel like it's something that you don't get often. And I'm really feeling gratitude right now for the fact that I'm able to connect with somebody who gets it. And with everything going on, I really needed to just get out of the house and have a conversation with a human that isn't spouting insanity and claiming that the whole world agrees when that's so not the truth. So this is our second date, and he planned some fun for us, and then we're going to go to dinner a little bit later after the fun. And I'm trying not to feel too guilty about allowing myself to do something that a lot of people are probably not feeling very safe to do right now. Like the ultimate type of privilege to be able to see the world as it is, to know the things that are happening in my town right now, and just go, well, okay, I'm going to go out. Like there's a level of guilt that comes with that I don't think a lot of people talk about. And I just want to be real. Like I'm really not okay. And I don't know what else to do at this point, but to just keep trying to be a good person. And if I go out into the world, I want to provide love and kindness for others who maybe are not getting that love and kindness. And I want to be the love that we are so sorely lacking right now. And that requires you to leave the house. It requires you to take chances. It requires you to put yourself out there in ways that can feel overwhelming. And I'm feeling really grateful that I was able to connect with somebody. Like I'm truly like thanking God. Like, thank you for putting someone in my reality that is not like so many that we're seeing that are just, and the internet allows people to just kind of be out there, just saying whatever the frick they want. And it's like, just because you can say it doesn't mean you should. Just because you feel it doesn't mean the whole world agrees. Just because you have that emotion attached to it doesn't mean it's something that you need to push onto other people. And so we're seeing in real time so many that lack emotional awareness and emotional maturity and just empathy in general. Their inability to put themselves in someone else's shoes is causing so many problems. And I quite literally don't know how to deal. I don't know how to deal. And luckily, I'm able to find a parking spot up here. Awesome. I was kind of worried about that for a minute. Yeah, okay. So I'm parking, and then I'm about to go. We're going to Coin Gem. I don't think I've ever been there. I never had like friends to go out and do this stuff, so I think it'll be fun. I'm not very good at games, but I just feel like with everything happening, it's probably a good idea to try something like this. And so it's not that I don't care about the things. I just have been trying to find the words to speak on it, because when I speak, I want to speak with intention, and I want not to shift mindsets, but I want to open minds. And so if I can't do that, I'm not going to speak on it until I'm like ready to do that. But that's what's been going on. I have been kind of depressed about not talking to my kiddo. My biggest fear with him is that he's been raised by people who are small-minded, who have closed minds, who are very much, it's my way or the highway. And if you don't believe in me, then you're a bad person. And also, I think there's been some like dissonance in regards to, well, if they don't have this much money, then they're not worthy.
What I seek seeks me.
And I would never have taught that to my child. I would have taught my child that every person has value. The money attached to them, the cars they have, doesn't mean shit, because I know some of the worst people in the world that have all the things. You wouldn't believe what they did to get there. I will never be that person, and I pride myself on that. And so I just I'm getting emotional, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, that's an update. I needed to do an update. That's the update. I'm grateful that God has put people in my life that do not think like the majority and that are aware of right from wrong. It's so important. Okay. Have a good day.